before your recent success with Instagram, and which is, I would say, 90% with the Telugu crowd in India and America, you were very active in the Utah American community. All of your reels and and you seem very happy there as well, without any toxic comments on your posts. Can you share more, like, how did you slowly get into that community? Coming here, you might have to, learn driving or the culture or understanding accents, but then going ahead and making American girlfriends and, then finding your footing into modeling. How did all of that work out for you?
So when I first moved to Utah, I was only looking for Indian friends, because for me, before I moved to Utah, like, I was following certain people on Instagram who were already living in USA, and they had big Indian communities, like big Indian friend groups, where every weekend they were partying, they were eating Indian food, they were dancing, they were dressing up in like
a
Indian.
mini India outside of India.
Exactly. That could be Texas or Virginia. I don't even remember what state they all belong to. But that's the kind of life I was hoping for, where I would find my tribe of Indian women. So I used to go out of my way, like, we used to live in apartments at that time. I used to go out of my way, and any Indian woman I see on the road, like just walking, I used to go stop them. And I'm like, and I used to introduce myself. And I used to be like, where are you guys from? Like, I want to be your friend, whatever. I tried so hard to make Indian friends.
This is so weird in America, right? If you do this to an American, like, what?
Exactly. I tried so hard. Like, I tried every way possible to make Indian friends. Like, I used to go to the temples. I used to volunteer at the temples. But the Indian women, they were talking to me, but they didn't want to include me in their group. Maybe they already have their friends and they're happy in their little circle, and I'm this outsider. Maybe they don't want me to, join their group, infiltrate their group and ruin the dynamics. I don't know. But I was never part of any Indian groups here. And also people were separating me based on the caste and based on how religious I am. And I was not getting invited. I shared it on my I have a small podcast, and I shared it on my podcast too. That one time they asked me if I knew how to read mantras and, the religious chantings, because they were going to host a puja in their house. And I told them, like, I don't know that, but I can, I can still join, and I can read through a paper, and I can still participate. And they were like, oh, okay. And they never invited me to the puja because I'm not religious as them, So I was left out many times. And that's when it took me like a month or two to realize that, this is not my crowd. Like, I should not go for just Indian friends. Like, I need to like broaden my horizons and like try meeting other people too. Maybe they'll be more welcoming. So my first job in USA was at Hollister. So I was a manager at Hollister at a mall in Utah. And that's where I started talking to people, like the other managers and my associates and customers.
So that's how you started forming the American bond and other friends, expanding your group on that side.
My co-manager at Hollister is still one of my best friends in Utah. So we stayed in touch and we still hang out till date. And slowly I started building my connections from there. And then I did a pageant. And over there, I met a lot of people. And through the pageant, I had to organize many charity events. And I met some more people there. And I was volunteering at like the Utah Pride. And I was doing a lot of things in the community. And I met a lot of people. And I also volunteered for the Utah Democratic Party. And we were raising funds for a senator.
Interesting. And how did you foray into then modeling in Utah?